Hi everyone, I'm Trisha Minton and I'm a fourth year student at the University of Cincinnati College of Medicine and I am an FMIG Regional Coordinator for Region 3 and I am very happy to be hosting this FM on Air FMIG Leader Series Google Hangout for everyone to watch. This episode will be about keeping M3s and M4s involved. So all of the FMIGs across the country struggle a lot with keeping the third and fourth year students involved as they start their clerkships and they get more busy and scheduling becomes difficult to keep all 4 years involved at the same time. So I've invited a couple of our wonderful school leaders who have very unique and very creative ways to keep their third and fourth years involved, and I wanted you to hear from them. So we'll start off with Caitlin from UConn.
Hi, I'm Caitlin. I'm a fourth year at UConn and one of the co-chairs of the FMIG. And there are three main ways that we at UConn focus on trying to get our upperclassmen more involved in FMIG activities. And they're basically mentorship, opportunities for leadership, and through conferences. With mentorship, we found that third and fourth year students are kind of at that point where they have a lot of knowledge and experience to offer to younger students who haven't had their clinical experiences yet but are really eager to learn, and the third and fourth years are eager to teach. So we like to have activities and events that kind of focus on allowing third and fourth years to impart some of their knowledge and experience onto the underclassmen. And one of the ways that we love to do that is through hands-on workshops. So for example, we'll have a hands-on suturing workshop where we'll have a community physician's precept or residents from the family medicine program at UConn precept, but we'll also have third and fourth year students who feel comfortable with their suturing skills doing stations to help teach the younger students knot tying and activities like that, so that the third and fourth year students feel like they're learning, but they're also having the opportunity to teach as well. And then also activities that kind of focus on how to approach various aspects of the curriculum or the undergraduate medical education, studying for boards, kind of just like little mentorship or advising type sessions are really something that we found all students at every level want to be a part of. And then also providing opportunities for third and fourth year medical students to get mentorship. If there is a family medicine residency program in your area, that's like an amazing way to attract third and fourth year medical students, as they're trying to figure out what they're interested in and how to start looking at residencies and if family medicine is right for them. So strolling through the match for us is one of the programs that we get the materials through the AFP, and we put on that event every year, and that's always very popular for third and fourth year students who may be interested in matching into family medicine. Typically, we have residents that are already in family medicine come and talk about their experience going through the interview trail. And then later in the year, we'll have fourth year students kind of talk with third year students at the end of the third year, thinking that they want to go into family medicine, to discuss how they went about starting their application and writing a CV and all those types of things. So kind of that longitudinal mentorship is a great way to engage upperclassmen, because they want to hear from people who've done it before and they have a lot to offer. The second thing that we do is provide opportunities for leadership, and we have a large leadership team in our FMIG, and that's very helpful because third and fourth years, as we all know, are super busy with clinical activities and commitments, and so by having multiple positions for third and fourth years, it kind of allows people to participate as their rotation schedule allows. So when they're on less time intensive rotations, they're able to participate, whether it be just organizing an event, focusing on an area of interest, or being more of an administrative co-chair type position. And typically what we do is at the end of each academic year, we'll send out a school-wide email just soliciting interest from any students that think they might be interested in family medicine, and encouraging them to get involved in a leadership position in the FMIG because of the CV benefits of being involved in that if you want to apply in family medicine. And so we really try not to create any barriers for students that may not have been too involved in FMIG before, to not say that that is something that's going to keep them from being able to participate in a leadership position in some way. So whether it be just organizing and coordinating event, or helping with membership, or doing administrative stuff, or even as a co-chair if they're interested in having that bigger time commitment. And the third way that we do it is conferences. And funding, I think, for every school club is really difficult, but we try to make sure that we get that $600 annual scholarship every year in December, and one of the things that we do with that scholarship is pay for the registration fee for our third and fourth year medical students who are interested in attending the national conference to go to that, or if they want to go to FMIG, the Family Medicine Education Consortium, which is a conference for the Northeast region, or even just our local state chapter has a scientific symposium every October. So just trying to help alleviate some of those barriers for upperclassmen to go to those conferences. When they do, they have so much fun learning hands-on skills and different things like clinical pearls, and they're excited about the leadership aspect that is portrayed through a lot of those conferences in terms of like what's coming up in primary care, and they want to come back to the school and share the things that they've learned with the other students. So then after those conferences, we'll always have some kind of meeting or provide a venue for the students who went to those conferences to share everything they learned with other interested students. And typically it just tends to be third and fourth year medical students who go to those conferences because they're kind of at that level where they're more interested in that and they have more of a flexible schedule. So the last thing I want to mention is it's really important to make sure your events are at a time when third and fourth year students can attend, which for us is typically evenings at 6:30. Like, we try not to schedule any events before 6:30 in case people have to commute back from clinical commitments or whatnot. And so we found that if we do events any earlier in the day than that, we really don't get much attendance from third and fourth year medical students. But so my three pearls would be like opportunities for longitudinal mentorship, opportunities for leadership for upperclassmen, regardless of how involved they've been, and trying to facilitate attendance at conferences.
Hi, I'm Carly Salter. I'm a second-year medical student at St. Louis University School of Medicine, and there are different ways that we've tried to keep third and fourth year students involved. And one of the first things was the AAP National Conference. We get funding from the St. Louis Academy of Family Physicians and our department and different scholarships, and that's a great opportunity where the younger students tend to do more of the planning to try to get hotel rooms and get people to carpool, so it makes it easier for them to go, but it is more of the upper level third and fourth year students that go due to the residency fair aspect of it and such. But it's a great opportunity for people to kind of mingle and learn from each other. And then we do a match panel where we have about 4 or 5 fourth year students who have matched into family medicine, and they come and talk about what they did that they thought was really good and stuff that they would have done differently. And it's great to have third years show up to that, because then they also ask good questions that benefit the first and second years, because they never would have thought of a lot of those things. And then we do a panel of residents from one of our residency programs, and we do like a dinner, so it's later in the day, so the third and fourth years are able to show up to that one, and they really benefit whether they've already matched into family medicine, so they're asking about what their intern year is going to be like, and if they have any tips for the summer before, what they could be doing. And then the younger students are also benefiting from what's it like, do I want to do that. So it's appealing to them that way. This year we've started where we're having a fourth year student that was prior one of the leads for our FMIG. She is helping us to do outreach to high schools and to help us set up some activities that will correspond to their curriculum, because she has a little bit more experience with some of that stuff. So she's bringing her skills and helping us out with something like that where we may not have time for it if she didn't help us, and it's something she's very excited about. And something that we used to do was we would host a third year essentials and how to write a SOAP note session, and that's where we would have fourth year medical students go through and they would talk about what things you should and shouldn't do during the different rotations and how to succeed, and gave some tips on how to write good SOAP notes. And that was something that we no longer do because it was actually added into the curriculum here during orientation week for third year, so that was exciting. And we also do a social dinner every year, and that's late enough in the day that the third and fourth years can go, and it's at a faculty member's house, and we get a lot of physicians and residents and medical students going, so it's a great opportunity for everyone to talk and learn from each other again. And something else that we're trying new this year is we're doing maybe more policy talks, and we've collaborated with another group, so we're doing a debate that's later in the day, that it's a topic that third and fourth years would be more interested in because they have more experience and understanding of that, and it's put at a time where they're able to go. And something that we just, trying to make sure that the events are later on in the day, because lunch talks, you'll get a couple of third and fourth years that were off for lunch and could come, but otherwise making sure the time works and that the topics are appealing to them is definitely important. So that's what we've tried to do here to improve that.
Hello, so my name is Duane. I'm a third-year medical student at The Ohio State University College of Medicine. And just to follow up, so a lot of things we do to kind of involve third and fourth-year medical students. Early on in the year, so next month, we try to get the scheduling department involved first in regards to help scheduling fourth year for third-year medical students. I think a majority of third years, as I am now, I can speak for myself and maybe a couple others. We're kind of confused on just what's going on, moving forward. Like, how do we apply for things? What what electives are available? Just how does that whole process take place? So having the scheduling department there early enough to answer all these questions is going to make us feel a little bit more comfortable about that, and help third-year medical students who are actually interested in family medicine be more engaged in picking the right electives and whatnot. Also, to follow up with the medical students we're talking about in regard to the conference, funding is a big thing. So we're going to have an event where we do discuss reimbursement, have all the interested family medicine medical students who want to go to the conference, kind of have them all together in one room and talk about, how can we help pay for it? Are we all going to carpool together? What are we going to do for hotels and things like that? So being able to get everyone together to discuss that early on before late July when the conference takes place is going to be good for the students. Another event titled "Can I Afford a Career in Family Medicine?" is something that we do in January as well. I'm sorry, and like the title says, I mean, what we're pretty much doing is trying to address all the myths and the misconceptions that surround family medicine. I'm sure we've all heard it. So I think it's going to be, and this is for not just third and fourth year medical students, it's for everyone across all classes. And I think this is going to be, it'll do a good job of making people feel more comfortable in hearing it themselves from actual attendings and residents and probably some fourth years going into it. Understanding if they're able to get more personal about their lifestyle, financial stability, how they're paying off loans. These are all answers that unfortunately need to be answered, soon in a medical student's journey, because I think unfortunately sometimes people will not choose family medicine as a route because they have these misconceptions about what it's like to be a family medicine physician. So I think that's going to be a really important event early on within the year. Also, we're going to do a match day panel, and again, this is for all the medical students, but geared towards third and fourth years. Again, just to get another idea of what it takes to match, the application process, figuring out where to apply, how many places do we apply to, all the questions, the array of questions you have, we'll be able to get answered at the match day panel. We're also going to have an event where just to kind of lead up with that, to help us figure out how to apply for residency. There's tons out there. You have to be aware of the geographical locations, the other residents you're working with, how many residents get accepted within that first year, the patient population, all these things you want to keep in mind in terms of making something your career choice. So the event will be able to address all of that. Other than that, we'll have another event where, just again, to follow up that application process, something that, I said, like a lot of third and fourth years are kind of like, what's going on? We're going to help people prepare for their personal statements, get comfortable with interviewing, and again, choosing some of the locations that they might want to be interviewing at. That's it.
So I'm Allison May. I'm a faculty member at Ohio State University College of Medicine, here to support Duane, who is a third year, and really just to talk about a few of the events that we do. We really, I think, do a great job starting with about the middle to late end of third year medical student with, post-match panel preparing for residency, and most of the events are kind of geared towards, for the student planning to apply for family medicine residency. They're all kind of titled the same thing. It's great for those. I think we're really struggling with how to engage the third year for the first 2/3 of the year who has not yet decided whether they're going to match in family medicine, and one of the reasons I sort of want to be involved. One thing that we are doing, and this is from a faculty perspective, but I absolutely think that students could be involved in this. We're planning to do a post ambulatory experience survey, basically to get some feedback from students if they have any interest, if they're a 3 out of 5 even interest in going into family medicine, that they would be put on a listserv, that they would be contacted to make sure they're included. From a faculty perspective, I see there are a lot of students that I see in first and second year and kind of go away during third year. I think sometimes that happens from a faculty perspective. I think sometimes that happens because they're not sure and they don't want to disappoint me, which I always think is so funny because I want them to be happy, successful medical students and whatever. But I just want to make sure that they know my door is open, and there's several on our team, but my door and others is open to talk about their career path, and just really continuing to engage those students in that dialogue is something that we're kind of struggling with for the first 2/3 of third year, and I'm looking for creative ways to help facilitate that. Like I said, we're going to start this survey really soon, and hope that really helps to increase engagement or involve them. We do a newsletter that's all years, and I have, depending on the quarter, I have anywhere from first, second, third, and fourth year medical students and residents and attendings submit different articles, so that is then sent out and distributed to all students. And it's always about something related to family medicine. So that's really what we're doing at OSU, and we're excited and always want to do even better to increase our numbers. And we hope to stay we made 10% last year, and we hope to stay there. So want to just keep this engagement. So that's what we're doing.
Thank you, everybody, for participating in the call. We heard a lot of good ideas from both the student and faculty perspective on how to involve the third and fourth years, to time our events appropriately, offer mentorship opportunities, to really facilitate regional and national conference involvement, and choosing different topics that are relevant to the third and fourth years. And one of the really interesting things was identifying weaknesses in your own school's curriculum and finding ways to fill that gap to increase the visibility of your FMIG. If you're an FMIG leader watching this video and you have any questions or ideas for us, please email your regional coordinator. The contact info is available on afp.org. And thanks, everybody, for watching.